two parties, the mentor and the mentee. The old, the wise and the experienced, the young, the naive and the innocent. One the teacher, the guide, the counsellor. One the student, the pupil, the protege. Now this relationship is in place to help the mentee achieve their longer term goals and aims, their hopes and dreams. And there's some wonderful examples out there in life. There's Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso. There's Ip Man and Bruce Lee. There's Yoda and Luke Skywalker. There's Master Shifu, Kung Fu Panda Po. Dumbledore, Harry Potter, Gandalf and Bilbo Baggins. We've even got some real life ones out there as well. There's Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. Now when I was a child, I had a dream. I wanted to learn Kung Fu, Karate, and the ways of the Force. When I was 15, I got the chance to learn Taekwondo. And I trained in it for 12 years. I got my second degree black belt. Then my first son came along, and I stopped training to concentrate on being a dad. But when he turned about 7, he said, "Dad, I want to learn Kung Fu." Well, I can't find a Kung Fu class, son, but there's a Jiu-Jitsu class just there. And so we all went along. After 3 lessons, they were doing a grading. And they said, "Well, I know you've only done 3 lessons, but you're quite capable, why don't you go in for it?" So I did. I've got a second degree black belt in Taekwondo, it should be fine. And towards the end of this 5-hour grading, we did some stand-up fighting. I've got my black belt in Taekwondo, I'll be fine. Then I met Polish Pete. He punched me, he kicked me, and he made me bleed. Bleed all down the white gi I had on. Afterwards I was like, how does this happen? I've got a black belt in Taekwondo, this shouldn't happen. That's when I met my Mr. Miyagi. Except mine's called Ian Reynolds, and he's not from Okinawa, he's from Meanwood in Leeds. Now mentors are awesome because they've experience that we don't have for ourselves. Ian has been trained in boxing, karate, he has a 5th dan in Taekwondo, a 2nd dan in Jiu-Jitsu, a blue belt in Judo, a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He was brought up on the mean streets of Meanwood and had to fight as a kid. He's competed in martial arts tournaments for 25 years. He's worked as a bouncer in Leeds. Mentors are awesome because they see things we can't see for ourselves. One lesson was my friend Carl and I were being taught by Ian, and Ian suggested we critique each other. So Carl went up to the pads. All he had to do was 1, 2, left, right, jab, cross. And we watched. What did we notice? Carl put all his weight on his front leg. An opponent would see that and look to sweep it away. Carl also, when throwing the second punch, lifts his right elbow, exposing his rib area. An opponent would look to strike him in his liver. He also, after doing the 2 shots, drops his lead hand, exposing his face. Again, an opponent would wait and punch him in the face. Then we swapped. I was critiqued. Apparently, I moved my front foot just before I strike. An opponent would see that and go, he's going to hit me. I'm going to hit him first. I had the same right arm chicken wing and the same lead hand drop. Mentors are awesome because they tell us things we don't necessarily want to hear. Now one lunchtime, Ian and I were walking, having a talk. He said, "Paul, you've got some of the most beautiful kicks I've ever seen." He said, if we were doing a display or a demonstration, I'd want you up the front. No question. But in a fight, not as effective as my kicking. You lean back and you overextend. If you're leaning back, your weight's going backwards and not forwards into your opponent. So you're not kicking as hard as what you could do. And if you're overextending, after the kick, you're either going to fall over or not be able in a position to kick again. Oh. Mentors are awesome because they make us raise our standards. Now in one of the last previous lessons at Jiu-Jitsu, I got to spar with all the other adults. I dominated. You only have to punch somebody once or twice in the face, they don't want to fight anymore. We'll cover up. You can do whatever you want to them. Punch them in the side of the head, uppercut them in the face, grab them, throw them to the floor, grapple them. Then I got to spar with Ian. I tried punching him. Couldn't touch him. He'd just slip to the side, he'd bob, he'd weave. Couldn't touch him. I thought I'd kick him. Every time I went to throw a kick, he'd see it coming and he'd punch me in the face. I'm a slow learner, so it took me 3 or 4 times before I realised I don't want to kick him anymore. Then when it was his turn and he wanted to punch me, for the life of me, I couldn't get out the way. It'd be something out of Street Fighter. He'd hit me with 5 and 6 hit combinations and I'd get hit with every one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, every one. Multiple times. Mentors are awesome because they're there to make sure longer term we're going in the right direction. And we'd probably get there quicker than what we would do by ourselves. Mentors have experience and knowledge that we don't have. They see things we don't see. They tell us things we don't necessarily want to hear, and they make us raise our standards. Don't get me wrong, mentors don't have all the answers and they don't know everything, and they're not always right. You do have to listen to your inner voice. But mentors are awesome. Look out for your own Mr. Miyagi.